She made you feel like the problem. You were not the problem. You were the target. If you have ever been in a relationship where you felt confused more often than you felt loved, where you spent more energy managing her emotions than building anything real, where you slowly stopped recognizing yourself, this video is for you. Narcissistic relationships do not start the way they end. They start with intensity, with feeling chosen in a way that feels different from anything before. And by the time the pattern becomes clear, you are already deep inside it. Today we are naming 5 specific signs. Not to give you a label to throw at someone, but to give you the clarity that most men in this situation desperately need and rarely find. Subscribe and drop a like right now. This channel is built for men who want honest answers about the dynamics that shape their lives. And the Magnetic Masculinity ebook in the description is the complete guide for men who want to understand these patterns early and protect themselves going forward. The link is below. Grab it today. Here is what makes narcissistic relationships so difficult to identify from inside them. The good moments are genuinely good. The connection feels real. The affection, when it is present, is warm enough to make you question everything you noticed when it was not. And so you stay in the uncertainty. Not because you are weak, because the intermittent nature of the warmth keeps you searching for the version of her that appeared at the beginning, the version that made you feel seen and chosen. That version was the hook. What comes after is the pattern. And the pattern is what we are looking at today. Clinical psychologist Dr. Craig Malkin, whose research on narcissism and relationship dynamics is among the most accessible and practical available, found that narcissistic relationships follow a consistent arc. Idealization, devaluation, and discard or cycling back to idealization. His research found that the idealization phase is so intense that it creates a neurological bond similar to addiction. The intermittent reinforcement that follows, warm then cold, loving then critical, is one of the most powerful psychological hooks that exists in human relationships. Dr. Ramani Durvasula, whose clinical work on narcissistic abuse is widely referenced, found 5 behavioral patterns that appear consistently across narcissistic relationships, regardless of the specific personality of the individual involved. These are those 5 patterns. Sign 1. Everything is always about her. Not occasionally, consistently. Your problems become segues into her problems. Your achievements are met with redirection toward hers. Your emotional needs are either dismissed or used as an opportunity to center her own. This is not selfishness in the ordinary sense. It is an inability to genuinely hold space for another person's experience without making it about herself. And over time, it produces a specific kind of loneliness. The loneliness of being in a relationship while feeling fundamentally unseen. Sign 2. She rewrites history. You have a clear memory of something that happened. She tells you it did not happen that way, or that it did not happen at all. This is gaslighting. And in narcissistic relationships, it is not occasional. It is consistent. It is used specifically at moments of accountability when her behavior has been identified as the problem, to redirect the problem onto your perception. The result over time is that you stop trusting your own experience. You begin to defer to her version of events. And your ability to accurately assess reality in the relationship is progressively undermined. If you frequently walk away from arguments feeling certain that something happened and equally certain that you must be wrong about it, this is the dynamic. Sign 3. Criticism flows one direction. She can critique you freely, your appearance, your decisions, your tone, your priorities. Her critiques are delivered as honest observations, feedback you should be grateful for. But when you express a legitimate concern about her behavior, the response is rarely reflection. It is defensiveness, or a counterattack, or the sudden appearance of a long list of your failings that somehow became relevant the moment accountability was introduced. In a healthy relationship, both people can hear feedback without it becoming a crisis. In this dynamic, accountability is something that only moves toward you. Sign 4. She weaponizes your vulnerability. You opened up to her. You shared something real about your fears, your past, your insecurities. It felt like intimacy at the time. And then in a moment of conflict, it reappeared. not as something she was holding carefully, as something she was using. Dr. Malkin's research found that the strategic use of a partner's disclosed vulnerabilities is one of the clearest behavioral markers of narcissistic personality patterns in relationships. Genuine intimacy does not use what you shared against you. It holds it. Sign 5. You have become smaller. This is the sign that lands hardest for most men and the one that takes the longest to see. You used to have opinions you expressed freely. Friendships you maintained without negotiating for the right to see people. Standards you held without apologizing for them. Interests that were yours without needing her permission to pursue them. Look at where those things are now. If the honest answer is that most of them have quietly contracted or disappeared, that contraction is the cumulative result of a relationship where your full self was consistently too much and your diminished self was the price of peace. That is not love. That is management. Here is what I want you to take from all 5 of these. Recognizing this pattern is not about assigning blame or diagnosing someone. It is about giving yourself the information you need to make a clear decision about what you are willing to continue living inside. You are not too sensitive. You are not the problem. You are a person who gave his genuine self to something that was not built to receive it. And the version of you that existed before this relationship is still in there. He just needs the space to come back. If this gave you clarity on something you have been living inside without a name for it, like this video and subscribe. And if you want the complete framework for recognizing these patterns early, protecting your self-respect, and rebuilding after this kind of relationship, the Magnetic Masculinity ebook is in the description. Honest, practical. The link is below. Grab it today.